Good morning, Goggle Froggers. How are you? Hope you're well. I'm Angela and I'm with you for the next hour. So the next hour, what we're going to be talking about, well, I've got a book, you know, when it changes seasons, and I'll just get rid of those. And I was reminded so much of it this morning. I woke up quite early. Well, for me, it's quite early. And when I looked outside, all of the fields were covered in mist. It's now sunny. It's going to be beautiful today, but we know that we're in autumn now, don't we? So, yeah, absolutely wonderful start to the morning. And you'll know me, my favourite season is autumn. I love winter. I love rain. I love thunder and lightning. The sun's okay as long as it doesn't get too hot. So anyway, welcome. So I hope your morning has been wonderful as well. Thank you, Brigitte. It's show number 278. Can you believe that? Oh my word, we're nearly at 280. I remember when we were talking about 180 as per darts. How long ago was that? So this is amazing. And yeah, it is. Well, it's Saturday, it's 10 o'clock, and we're just going to have an hour of fun. So anyway, I hope you're really well. I picked up a book today, really, really inspired by this. And I know I've shown you this in the past, but I'll show you what. Every time you open a book, I always think when it's a change of season, do you know what? We're inspired by a totally different pattern. So as it's getting colder, I've found two patterns that I'm really inspired by. So let's say some good mornings. We are small but perfectly formed today. And hello to everyone on replay. And hello to everyone watching on YouTube. We've got a chat box on the right-hand side. I'll read out what's in the chat box so you know on replay and on YouTube, because we don't record that. So anyway, here we go. Some good mornings. Robert's at work. Marianne's off ski somewhere. So good morning, Linda. Lovely to see you. And good morning, Judy. Lovely to see you. And good morning, Georgie. How on earth are you? And good morning, Brigitte. How are you? Can I just say a huge, huge, huge thank you, Brigitte. She gave me some beautiful tomatoes the other day, and I haven't, they're ready. They're going to be cooked today. And the reason why I didn't do them yesterday is I'm doing my niece's birthday cake, which is the strawberry birthday cake. And when I cook the tomatoes, they're going to have lots and lots of garlic with them. So I'm just getting the cake done so I can stick it in the other room. And then start with all the garlic. So I don't want her strawberry cake tasting and with a tang of garlic as it wafts through the air. So that's that. So yeah, oh, Linda's going to meditation in a little while, so she will be scooting off, so that's fabulous. Yes, and as you can tell, hair in plait, for baking purposes, because then nothing drops out of your hair. Yeah, so it's just so much easier than trying to stick the whole thing up. So what have you been up to this week? Do let me know. I haven't done hardly any knitting. I've got my knitting here as I started yet another work day the other day in this beautiful purple. Yeah, so this lovely, lovely, lovely purple, which is beautiful. It's a little bit more violet than it shows. They never show the true colour on camera. But yeah, it's lovely. And do you know what I'm absolutely loving? These are only short straight needles. But actually doing this on straight needles, I'm so much quicker. So what I think we need to do is get something nearly a metre long so I can do on straight needles and a really long scarf. It's on quite a thick, you know what they say about DK double knit? You have thin double knit, you have thick double knit, and this feels quite a thick double knit. This is the bargain ball of wool that everybody loved at our Sheringham retreat a few years ago, and everyone wanted this colour ball, and I think I've got 2 other balls left. But I thought I'd do a workday scarf in it. It might be one of those that surprisingly goes missing. Someone takes a shine for it. So anyway, shall we listen to some music? I don't know what we have in store today, but I'm sure that Robert has put something together for us. And I say this every time when we talk about music, as long as it's not the Birdie song. If it is, I'm switching it off. So anyway, let's have a look and see what today's ditty is. So sit back and enjoy and do a little bit of knitting. Well, I think you enjoyed that little ditty for a Saturday morning. And I noticed in the chat that Brigitte said she noticed it on the very first beat. I know you're not that old. So I sort of recognised it. I think everyone recognises that tune, don't they? Linda said that she recognised the song but had to check the artist. It was the Tremolos from 1967. So I hope you all enjoyed that. That's lovely. Yes, well done, Robert, for selecting that. So I don't think, I always have this trepidation whenever I press play, just in case it is one of those horrid songs that I really don't like. And talking about music, we don't talk about politics, but I'm going to mention something. There was a politician in the last few weeks who apparently was fully suited and booted and went up to Glasgow and ended up in some club and was absolutely dancing his socks off in his suit. And it was, I don't know whether it was a garage place or something like that, but it was not what you would expect someone in their 40s or 50s to be dancing to, dancing his little heart out. So I think that's quite amusing. So anyway, I hope that you were all tapping your toes and enjoying that. And whatever music you enjoy, I think it's really nice to appreciate other bits. So that's probably not my normal taste, but whenever I listen to it, it always puts a smile on my face. So hopefully it does with you too. So just good morning, Georgie, who's saying hello, and Judy's saying hello, everyone. Brigitte says morning 278. Can you believe it? Linda says morning, here for half an hour before meditation. So enjoy your meditation. I was doing meditation at 5:10 this morning. Yeah, it was really quite surreal. It was really nice. And hello, Amber, and Princess Curtain Crusher too. Splodge says hello. When I came downstairs, Splodge was just curled up in a little ball in front of the fire, but there's no fire, if you know what I mean, at the moment. We don't put the fire on yet, even though we've had the chimney swept, so that's all done. But then Splodge noticed a fly on the settee, couch, settee. I don't know if you use the word settee in other countries or whether it's just an English term. So anyway, Splodge then hesitantly touched this fly. And then when I came back into the living room, Splodge was on the settee. And Splodge didn't know what to do. Splodge saw me and I saw Splodge. It was quite amusing, actually. And then she jumped down and ran out the house. And you just think, look, it's fine for you to jump up, honestly. But it was really quite amusing, her little face, as if to say, oh, dear, I've been caught. I thought, what do you get up to overnight? So anyway, yeah, Princess Curtain Crusher, I hope that she's well, and it's lovely to see you as well, Amber, across the pond over there in Rainbow County, is it? Whoops. And then Georgie says very soothing, and Brigitte says, I remembered most of the lyrics from a song from the 60s. I can't remember my pins or passwords. Do you know what? That happens all the time, doesn't it? I find it amazing that people can remember so much, but they can't remember the simplest things anymore. Yeah, I get that too. I'll be, what I find really bizarre is I'll be driving along, a song will come on, I'll say, oh, that's Obsession by Animotion. I think, how on earth can I remember that? Or that's by Aztec Camera, or that's by, and it's just bizarre what comes out of the, I say the brain's like, there's all this information stored away in envelopes. It's folded away and put away, so it's just not there. And some of this stuff just comes flying out, doesn't it? Like you say, you know just about all of the words, and you could sing it probably without the tune as well. But yeah, get us to remember our PIN numbers, our passwords, you know, an instruction that we were given 5 minutes ago while we're listening to Goggle Frogs, and just think, what did they say? So I totally get that as well. Is everybody else the same? I think you probably are. So anyway, here is Knit Night. And I changed my Knit Night from normal Knit Night. So in normal Knit Night, there's 6 stitches there, but I do 8 stitches. I actually think it looks nicer. So yeah, I did that. I've done that on a couple of them now, and just increased it. And I do think it looks a little bit, I don't know, more defined. And also the thicker, like this is what I would call it. It's, I know it's DK, but it's not far off chunky. You know, when something's really bouncy. And I think it looks really nice in thicker stuff as well. So I'm going to have a look at some of the chunky that I have, or if I've got any worsted, and see what I can do there, because I think it could go into a cape. And the one thing to remember is if you want something long and narrow, do it with 8 stitches, whereas if you want something with more of a drop in the back, then do it with 6 stitches. But I like the 8. It just means that it's a bit longer and wider. So it's really, really good. So I'm really enjoying this. You know me, it's always a go-to, but I've just got to show you these little inspired patterns. And I know I've shown you this before. This is from a local yarn shop up in Leeds, up in Pudsey, sorry. And I always remember the name. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I always forget the name. And yeah, it's Knitting Reimagined. I thought it was reimagined by Nikki Epstein. And I don't know if you've heard of Nikki Epstein, but this is one of her bits on the front. And that is actually part, it's sort of a dress as well. So it's this beautiful dress with these sleeves. And then this is huge, great deep V front with all of these like fur tassels on the side as well. Absolutely incredible stuff that she does. And as I said, every time you pick up a book, you're inspired by different things, aren't you? And I was looking at this, and it says there's 25 breathtaking projects. Now, you know what I'm like with different colours and stuff like that. What do you think about that one? Sorry, the light's starting to come through some of the some things. Can you see that? It's the most beautiful big scarf. That's a farm truck going past. If you look at that, can you see here where there's this beautiful cable over? It's just amazing. So you've got this black and green, like it almost looks like a waffle effect, doesn't it? It's 2-color, and this beautiful cable here, and then all around the edge. Let me just show you the edging. You can see that's got a little cable rope edging all the way around as well. So I haven't read the pattern in any great detail yet, but I was just looking this morning, you know, when you thought, right, I'm on my own. Whenever I'm on my own, I can do my own thing, can't I? And I always like getting a book out, because books are just so inspirational. I think when we're looking online just through images, it's fine, but we forget stuff that's in a book. So I got up and thought, oh my word. And even the person who's written this says that she would love to see the stitch pattern made by selecting a solid colour for A, which is like the green, and a bold variegated yarn for B. Another way to go would be making the 2-colour stitch pattern with a solid colour and then using a contrasting colour for the cable, slit and cord. So what she's saying is she would really like to see it where that dark is in a variegated, or even you could do it in contrast, like 1 and then a contrast there, and in that lovely, 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 lovely. If you, so Linda says, love that with the crossover cable. Yeah, it's lovely. Brigitte saying, love the crossover wrap. It's just so different. What she does say is, so I'll just show you this. I don't think I'm doing any problems with, because I'm not showing you the pattern, but can you see there's only 3 areas to create. So it's really quite incredible, isn't it? But the it's really quite long, and I just think that would be lovely. It'd be, I think you could do it in a variety of different weights as well, to just get the right length. So if you wanted something more in a flowing, I wouldn't necessarily say a standard lace weight, but something that has got a lot of silk, a lot of yak, a lot of camel in it, would just flow beautifully. Or even something chunkier. Again, I think the skill is getting something with a little bit of that shiny silk in it, so it just falls. Cashmere does that as well, and Cora does that, all of those. But it's just incredible. And do you know what? I've had this book over a year now. I bought it at the first time lockdown opened up, and I never, ever saw that in this book. You know, when you read through something and you just don't read it. And I've got another one here as well that I have never, ever, ever seen before. And I just can't believe it. Now, let me make sure I'm showing you the right one. So here's the, so here we've got, it's like a cape. And I've been looking for what I would term an old-fashioned cape. Something where the arms go through. You know, like the old-fashioned capes that they did. I'm trying to make sure that you can see the pattern on that. When they used to do those lovely matrons or nurses capes. So it's got this, it's also almost like a slub effect across the front that you create with the stitch pattern. It's got this lovely pattern here, where it gathers over, it just flips over, and then here you can see on the sides there are these panels. But let me show you the back of it, and I'm just making sure that I'm not showing you any of the pattern stitches, okay, because I can't do that. And I'm sure that I can show you. Yes, I can. So here is the back. Just look at that back. Absolutely beautiful. And I think this is just a modern take on the nurse's cape that they all used to wear. And there's a beautiful detail in that stitch. But here it looks like it's almost like folds, isn't it? And you know that's just going to give you so much movement as you move your arms. And it's because that's the one thing I find with some of the shorter capes or smaller capes, they're round here and then they go out. As soon as you pull your arm up, the whole thing rides up. Whereas that will just be incredible. I just, oh, sorry, I can't show you that bit. I just love that. And you can see the detail So what is this done in? And this says this piece is made in rectangles, so you can easily change the stitch patterns. But make sure the yarn is the same weight and the gauge to keep the fit. Cuffs can also be added to the arm opening. And what is this done in? This is done in, it says, well, US size 10, US 15, 10 mil straight needles. Oh, that would be such a quick knit. And that is done in a baby alpaca, extra fine merino, polyamide in Dusty Plum. And that was the Bagsmith Belissa Botanicals. So I'm not sure about that one. You may know a little more than us, Amber, if that's one that you recognise. Bagsmith. Yeah, but that is lovely. And then the other one, let me have a look and see what is in the other one, what that one's made out of. This one is Plymouth Yarn Baby Alpaca. Whoa. And it's 100% baby alpaca, and that's on 5.5 mil needles. And I do find for winter, do you know what? You want to knit things up quickly. Summer is all about little needles. Winter is all about big needles. And I've got so much in the garage, in my office that I want. But yeah, it's just beautiful. And that one that was on the front, Fair Isle. I'm just having a look through and see if there's any other inspiration that I've got. Not at the moment. No, those are the two that I'm totally inspired by. But at different times of the year, I then go on to other ones. This is another one as well that's beautiful. You can see that. See it? I think so. And it's done almost on the bias. Well, it is on the bias there, but they're knitted straight. So it's quite interesting. So they must start to increase along there. But it's, oh no, it's knitted on the side. So it's knitted from arm to arm. That's why you can get it. I was thinking, how do you get that fall when you're not actually casting on? But yeah, that is beautiful. It's a really, really, really lovely book. How much was it? It was £13.99. Yeah. Oh, Linda says, think I'll put that book on my Christmas list. It's a really beautiful book. How often do we have books that only ever sit on the shelf? But there's 2 or 3 things in there that are really, really good. There's no way I'd have bought that. I'd never heard of her. It's just the fact that I went into a shop, saw that, looked in, I thought that looks really exciting. And what she does, she has changed the way you would create a garment or the way how you would do stitches. So it's really, really lovely. The fact that when I said that last jumper is done on the bias, as you think, no, it's not. The reason why she gets it to hang is it's done from sleeve to sleeve sideways, and that's how by adding on you get this beautiful drape along that edge rather than trying to cast on, cast off in the traditional way, as we would start scarf, if you know what I mean. So it's just the fact that she's played around with things. This is a really whimsical one, and I know I've shown this before, but you never quite know. Where was this other one? I'll show you it, because like if you're thinking of buying it, you want to get a little bit of inspiration. Oh, just on this one that was on the front there. Hang on a minute. Can I show this without? Right, so there I can show without showing any words. Can you see how the see, that's the whole jumper, whereas on the front that's what you see. So it's really, really exciting how she's playing around with the dress stroke tunic stroke jumper. Absolutely incredible. And what else? This is the other one. This is the real whimsical one. If you know of anybody who likes things like Dungeons and Dragons and things like that, I think this is just the perfect top. There we go. Can you see just that bottom there is just incredible. She's got beautiful sleeves as well. You can see here she's done those beautiful, what I call puff sleeves, and that is a neckline with a statement as well. So I just love this book. Every time I pick this up, I always think I must create that. I must put that on the needles at some point. So maybe I will do something this year. So Linda says, got to go now. See you later. Have a lovely weekend. Amber, she says, not heard of Backsmith. Plymouth is nice. Thank you so much. I've not heard of them. And it's interesting how there's such a difference between UK and USA yarns. When I do go to the USA, I can't wait to get into a yarn shop because I know they're so different to us. I know that we have things that come over here from America. But again, our style of knitting and the sort of wool that we go to is very different to the American one. So I think they export what we like rather than us trying different things. So thank you so much for that. So that's one little book that I thought. And then here's another one which I haven't even started on this. And to be honest, I don't know if I'm going to. Certainly not this year. Because it involves a little bit of lace pattern. And lace pattern and me, I'm not the greatest at remembering where I am at a pattern, but I do think this is beautiful. And I forgot that we actually stocked this. And it was only when we had our pond pop up. And I said, where's that from? Robert said, we stock it. I went, oh, okay. So that's another one. And something that I absolutely love, if everyone knows Knitting Fever, Findlay, Juniper Moon Farm, part of that. Absolutely love this. So this is one ball of Juniper Moon Findlay dappled to create that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful creation. And it's something that I know that I did a scarf and it was just amazing. I love the drape of the Findlay dappled. And I know that's certainly very popular over your side of the pond, Amber. And we love it here too. It's a real one. And another one. Oh, I've just realised I opened this and I'm not looking at the brand of this one, but little pud on the back, but has got a little white thing under the neck. But the reason why I'm showing you this one is I picked this up a few years ago in Sheringham because, again, I'm sorry, I have to be careful that I'm not showing you the pattern. Can you see that there? That's a little cushion. Actually, they've probably got some at the front. Yeah, they have. Let me go to the front. So here we've got some cushions with little paws on. And I just think they're so cute. And you can do a little blanket as well. So they're really, really cute. This is a Rowan at Home from a few years ago. Do you have Rowan over there, Amber? I'm not too sure. And what else was it in here? And also, look at everything that's in there. So you've got this beautiful tree, which I think you could quite easily make into a Christmassy one. You could make that, if you wanted it to be Christmassy, then you could put red in there. But I think the blue and the white makes it winter. And then you've got this baby one. You've got this one, which is an owl. And I did think the other day, do you know what, if you changed it slightly and made it white, then you could actually call it Hedrick. Is it Hedrick? Who's oh, you know what I mean, Harry Potter. So if you had a different colour back and then made it white, that would be amazing. Then you've got a lovely half bubble and cable. This one, which is really quite interesting, and then this waffle. So that's like a waffle, and that's like a waffle that's made into diamonds. Hedwig, Sarah, thank you so much. what did I call it? Oh, that's because I've been creating a cake. Harry Potter cake for tomorrow. So funny. But they're really, really nice. And I do love this book. And as soon as I saw the little paw prints, I thought that's something that I've got to create at some point. But it has been on my list for years and years and years now. I think about 3-4 years I've had this and I haven't done anything from it. And so, hello, Anne. Brigitte, thank you so much for it's Hedwig. Anne likes those paw cushions too. They're just, I thought, you know what, once you've got the pattern, and what I love is the fact it's not just the paw, there's a little nail bit there. Can you see? So it's the little paw that you normally get, but just that one single little paw bit, and that shows their little claw, which is great. So you've got the cushion and that. We don't stock this. I'm just saying I've found this years ago. And it's all about inspiration, isn't it? But I love that. So if you have a pattern and you think, oh, it doesn't have the little claw bit, just put one extra stitch in the same colour so it looks as if there's a claw, and it just makes that different transformation to paw prints. And Amber says her mum initially taught her to knit, so I prefer British style yarns. We have, Rowan. Thank you. Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? You know, I think even in the UK, if you go to Scotland, traditionally there's certain things. You know, everybody has their what we call pound shop stuff. You will have your dollar shop stuff as well, which is great. And I have to say, this is it. You know, that cost me nothing. That was gifted to me. But sometimes we can get great colours, but when we're wanting something for drape, when we're wanting something to just flow, and if you're wanting a scarf to just I always say it's like they almost stroke you, tickle you. Some of the most beautiful yarns, it's just how they fall. It's like nothing else you've ever seen. And when I'm out, if I look at someone, it's just like, oh my word, what is that made out of? It happened yesterday. I was actually at the garden centre with my mum, and we were having a toasted sandwich each and a pot of tea, and all of a sudden I went, oh, I love her jumper, and my brain was just ticking away. And it's like to here, it had arms, and it was really thick knit all the way across here, and then there were two. So this was grey front and back, and then one half was pink and one half was cream. Oh my word, you know what? It was amazing. When I looked, I thought, I do think she's bought it, but how easy would that be to create? It was just lovely. And I thought, I'd never thought of doing something so simple, you know, just panels for there and there, all over the top, and then two different colours. So it's amazing when we're out. The one thing, I nearly got my phone out. I thought, I can't take a photo of a random woman. And there were so many people in there, and she was chatting away. I thought, I can't go up to her and say, excuse me, can I take a photograph of your jumper? Where's it from? So yeah, that's just my little story about yesterday. But yeah, wherever I am, I'm always looking for inspiration colours. But that was a beautiful, like, stone grey, cream, like as we used to call it, ecru, I think, in the 80s, especially when the tights, ecru, and a soft pink, not baby pink, more of a soft corally light pink. It was lovely. Really, really nice. And Brigitte says the extra detail for the claw makes me think it's a barefoot print rather than a pussycat's. Oh, I've never thought of that. Yeah, I've never thought of that. It's just, yeah, it's just that little thing, isn't it? It's how we normally see the paw prints, and you think, well, all of them got a claw, so it's really weird. So I suppose we've got it depends. Yeah, they are actually quite wide. it's just so interesting. And when you look at the easy repeat pattern that you would need to do for that, it's just so cute. But I really like the paws. So that was that one. And then this one, probably shouldn't show you. Somebody gave me a photocopy of it. But I thought this was really nice to use up something. So sorry, I'm not supposed to be showing you that, but somebody, I don't know where I've inherited this from. So yeah, you'd have to buy it, wouldn't you? But this is a really lovely one. And then we've got this book as well, First Knits. So it was £2.99. And I know I've shown you this one before because there's some really lovely stuff in here. Let me show you. Oh, my nose is starting to itch. Oh, I've just seen something different here. You see, I always look at this one and absolutely love it. This little heart cushion. And again, it's just so cute. I shouldn't be showing you that bit. The heart cushion, I think, is beautiful. But also, looked at something else, and there's a floppy-eared rabbit. Where is it now? How cute is that with just huge floppy ears? So all little things that you can, because often think, oh, have I got enough wool for X? But honestly, some amazing little ideas there. So hopefully that's given you a little bit of inspiration. And Brigitte says, Angela, I would have gone and asked her about the jumper. She says yes. Yeah, I know. I was going to, but I had my mum. I was halfway through my sandwich. I thought, never mind, I could recreate it. But it was beautiful. It was really nice. It was lovely. And Brigitte says, do cats walk with their claws out? The mice might hear them coming then, though. Do you know what? I don't know, but Splodgy Dodgy's back claws are a little bit long. But seeing as I've never been able to get anywhere near her to even pat her head, got no chance of doing her claws ever. And when she walks across our wooden floor, I'm amazed at how much noise she actually makes. So I think that they are there, but it's probably because the back ones are a little bit long. Oops, sorry. The back ones are a little bit long. So anyway, we're going to go on to Facebook in a minute. I just need to go on answer this call. Won't be a minute. On your own. And that was just to say that all of the prints to go on the cake for my niece's birthday are almost ready. So that's really good. So we've got all these. We've got Hedwig. We've got what's Harry Potterish going on there. The rat, the spider, the big snaky thing, Hedwig, Ron Weasley's sister, Harry Potter. So all sorts is going on there. So that should be quite good fun. Right, okay, I think we're ready to for me to share and see what's in Facebook. So sorry about this. It's let's have a quick look. Here we go. Let's have a look and see what's in there. Whoopie-doo. So Deborah says, sorry, she can't make today, so have a lovely weekend. And we wish Deborah a lovely weekend too. Georgie, what on earth is this? Dot Pebbles. Oh my word, that is beautiful. What I think is quite incredible, and if anybody else can see it too, that the wool used is all curly. You can see the texture in that wool. It is out of this world. It looks absolutely gorgeous, Georgie. How many of those are going to be made for Christmas, do you think? That is just beautiful. The link is there. I'm not going to click the link because you never know what we're going to see. Wow, that is lovely. So do get that. We've got this from Dawn. A good yawn. EU's Vestager knits during Commission Chief's annual speech. Oh, that's quite interesting. And on that very point, it's quite interesting. Like if you go to a hospital, if you go to a doctor's, if you go to church, if you go to places where you're supposed to be quite present, it's really interesting to see if people do knit. And I have heard of one church where they have lots of bits of knitting at the back. So if somebody wants to pick up their knitting and pick up some random knitting, they can, and they can do that during the service. So it's interesting that when we look at people with autism, often headphones, music helps them, or with voices, noises, sounds helps them. And often I do think that we take things in when we're relaxed, and if you're knitting. So don't know what that is about. It's quite interesting to see how many people do actually knit. Right, Sarah Pascoe is to be the new host of the Great British Sewing Bee. I don't know how that's gone down. I really don't know how that's gone down with everyone. I think with any presenter, it's a love-hate relationship, isn't it? So we've got Great British Sewing Bee. If I'm perfectly honest, I think I prefer to lose him rather than any of the experts. So if one of those experts went, it just wouldn't be the same, would it? So yeah, so I think some people liked him, some people didn't. So we'll see what happens there. But Great British Sewing Bee. I do hope that this year, I think last year, I don't know. I don't think some of the creations were quite as elaborate as what we've seen. I think there were one or two of them that could. So I hope the next one is really, really good, because I just think we've seen some amazing creations. Sarah had a little bit of an event, and she went to Yak in Brighton. I haven't been to Yak for quite some time. So she said that went to Yak in Brighton because someone on here mentioned it. I think it was Robert. Robert went at the weekend, one weekend, and it was shut. They don't open on a weekend. Lovely shop. And she says goodbye. All my money. And she thought the froggy tape measure would be appreciated here. So absolutely fantastic. There's just one there. Just one sitting there. Yak, it's a beautiful shop. Oh, has she put in purchases? Let's have a look. Yes, hang on a minute. All wool fibre, the sock yarn is superwash. Yay! Looks amazing. They do lovely stuff. I've still got stuff from Yak. And Marion's hoping to go there in November. Fabulous. And so enjoy any days out, any shopping trips out to local yarn shops. And Yak's been there for years and years and years. Quite interesting that they don't open on Saturdays or Sundays. But for them, probably their main customers are going to be during the week anyway. They're locals. So amazing that a retail store isn't open on Saturdays or Sundays. Rebecca says, Auntie Daisy was my great Uncle George's wife, and this was the year of her wonderful recipes. I'll share it. The other night, she mentioned her Auntie Daisy's cake. And lots of us said that we wanted to make it. So it's lots of fruit, cherries, you name it, in a loaf tin. So that is amazing. Thank you for sharing that recipe. It's more cake than bread. So that's lovely. Thank you very much. Oh, Linda used this as a layer for her wedding cake. Oh, fabulous. Georgie shared this the other day. And I think we were commenting on this over here. Is it this over here? We don't know, but it looks amazing. And did we see that the other day? I'm not too sure. They look fab though. I love the little heart on there. More from Diana Knits. Rebecca, oh, that was her Copperberg from the other night with some nice bread in the background. Yay! Is that fruity bread, by the way? And shared a post. God grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know when to just start knitting. Love that. Absolutely love that. Oh, and some free patterns. Becky, this is the before and after of the cupboard. I think we've seen that a little bit before, hadn't we? It looks amazing. True recycling. And that's the John Alban. So I think we're caught up on everything. If there's anything that I've forgotten, let me know. If you posted anything recently. Oh, right. Okay. So let me just catch up. Right, okay. Anne says a scratching post would help with cat's claws. You can buy or make indoor or outdoor. We've actually got wooden sleepers in the garden, which she scratches on, and she scratches her front paws on it, but she doesn't scratch her back paws on it. So it's a way to try and get her to encourage to scratch her back paws. I'm not too sure. Brigitte says, sorry, I haven't been on Facebook in a few days. Don't apologise, neither have I. No time is busy with the tomatoes. Thank you so much for my bag of tomatoes and getting Rod to L&D. Oh, I hope, Rod, everything went okay yesterday at the hospital. So that was to get a 24-hour heart monitor and then have to take it back at lunchtime today, then make more sauces with the tomatoes. That'll be you and me both. So I'm finishing off my cake in a little while. So just before the show, I popped into La Bourse, went to the little party shop, got, after everything, I'd forgotten to buy a cake base. So I had to get that. I thought I'd get some more boxes as well. Oh, I'll get some more dowels. So I popped out at 9 o'clock and was back in plenty of time for the show. Yeah, so I've done that, and then I'm going to be doing more sauces because I bought some of the, this is a little story. I don't know if you have it in other parts of the country, but people from France have cycled over to the UK for years and years and years with their shallots, their onions and their garlic. And this has been going since 1800 and something or other. So they come over and sell it to greengrocers, you name it. And I don't know if it's up north. I'm sure they don't get to at the USA, but now they come over in vans, obviously. But you can see the traditional companies, and they're always there. So I bought some of the beautiful, it's a purple garlic from somewhere in France. And they're huge, 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 huge cloves. So it's very fresh. And yeah, I always buy some whenever I see it's come over from France. So it's a lovely little tradition that still happens now. And I'm going to be making it with that garlic. I've got normal garlic as well, but yeah, I just thought I'm going to make a beautiful tomato and garlic sauce and then freeze it in amounts that I can just bring out to make bolognese and stuff like that. So yeah, I haven't been on Facebook in I don't know how long. There's just so much going on outside of in our lives, I think we will say. So I'm going to be making sauce as well once I finish the cake. Georgie says Agra got the spider and Scrub. Agra is the spider. Thank you ever so much. And Scrubbers is the rat. Yes. So I just think it's amazing that my niece, she's going to be as much into Halloween as I am. So she likes the, you know, it was so strange the other day as I was going up to, we had a few spiders in the house. And my mum goes and tries and squash them. And I always try and just give their legs a little stroke and they wonder what on earth's happening. And Splodge tries to eat them. Although we did find one on the outside of its body must have been about this big. The spider was about this big. It was huge on the outside of the garage, so I didn't go anywhere near that one. I thought that one might be. But yeah, so she loves the rat, the spider. Yeah, all of those rather than the dogs and things like that. So I think she's going to be quite unusual. I think a few years ago we did buy her a bug house. Which she and like a magnifying glass, you know, one of the plastic ones. So that was quite interesting. Now Amber has said about them walking, the cats walking. Generally, they don't walk with clothes out. Princess protested so much the vet could not get trimmed. I know I should have asked the vet to do it when Splodgy Dodgy went in, but the abscess was more important, so I wasn't interested in anything else. Brigitte said she had a delivery from the garlic farm on broke up the clothes, packed. Sorry, my contact lenses have just gone wandering. Packed 6 in cling film and put in a big bag in the freezer. Thank you so much. Whenever we get this beautiful garlic, it doesn't last forever. So do you know what? I might actually freeze some of it. Do you just freeze it as it is? Do you leave the outer leaves on, or do you take the outer leaves off? Just let me know. But yeah, beautiful garlic. Like there's normal garlic, and then there's something that is just more intense or more sweet. Absolutely love it. And it's just like when you get amazing basil. It's just packed with flavour. Not all basil has that amazing flavour to it. So yeah. So anyway, I've rambled on about cakes. I'll show you a picture of the of the cake I create in the end. But everything was strawberry. So it's got pink sponge, it's got pink icing, it's got a reduction of strawberries, not strawberry jam, it's a reduction of strawberries in the middle. And then it's going to be covered in icing and made into a Gryffindor look. I wanted to make it all pink, but then I thought, no, she's a Gryffindor, so I think I've got to make it Gryffindor. But we will do all of this, and I will share that on Monday. And I will also say what's going to be next on the needles when I eventually get round to it. So hopefully you've had a little bit of inspiration from some of those books that I've shared and patterns. Yeah, so that will help you. I've only done one row of my knitting, but at least we've got one row done, haven't we? Which is fab. So we've got one row done. And I think after this, I made a cake, a banana cake this morning, because I thought very sorry looking bananas. I don't even like banana cake, but I'm forcing myself to like it because I'm trying not to throw away anything. And thank you so much, Brigitte. She just said, yes, leave the skin on around the cloves. They peel super easy when they're thawed out. So I will use lots and lots for the tomato sauce. But I will also freeze some, and that's a really, really good tip. If you get brilliant herbs at any time of the year, pop them in the freezer. Or pop them into ice cubes. I saw something today that was a little ice cube tray, put little bits of rosemary in and some olive oil. And then once they're frozen, put them in a bag and you just bring them out one at a time and put them in the frying pan. And then you've got rosemary, olive oil if you want to fry something. So another little tip there. So anyway, without further ado, we're almost at 11. So I hope you've had a lovely hour. Sorry, I've only got a row done. But I have got some videos I'm trying to do about creating a safety line. And I know a lot of people use it with a, what is it? Anyway, I do it with needles. So I will be sharing that once I've got the video created. All right. So I want to say a huge, huge, huge thank you for joining me this morning. It's been lovely to share this hour together, hasn't it? Lovely goggle froggers. And Amber says, thank you everyone for a wonderful start to the weekend. See you on Monday. Yes, see you on Monday. Have a lovely weekend over there. And much love to Princess Curtain Crusher. Brigitte, thank you for this morning, Angela. Have a lovely weekend. Yes, you and Rod have a wonderful weekend. And to everybody else who's been watching live, have a lovely weekend. Anne and Georgie and Judy, have a fabulous time. See you on Monday at 10 a.m. And hopefully I might have done a few lines of this. Okay, you take care. Bye.